Review of 3 different style Timberland work boots. I've just bought this pair, which is the 6-inch Timberland Pit Boss. They rate pretty high, so I figured I'd try it for the first time. Very reasonably priced. It has a foam insert, which is about 1/4 inch thick. The inside footbed is a hard piece of material, I think plastic of some sort. The construction is leather, full leather, 100% leather. Welt construction where it's sewn. The leather is sewn down to the sole, which is supposedly one of the better ways of mounting the sole to the leather. Timberland has very good laces and eyelets that do not come out. They're pretty impressive. They're rock solid as far as their eyelets. How I know this is my go-to style and pair. I live in Florida. I work in normal conditions and temperatures. A lot of rain we see. I think these come waterproof, but I'm not sure. What I like about these the most is that they do have a soft piece of foam in here that does not compress. These shoes are about 2 years old, and it's about 3/8 of thick to 1/2 inch thick inside there. You could just imagine how soft it is to step on. What does compress a little bit is their insert. That's removable. You know, see, this is compressed down a little bit, or quite a bit. It would look something like this. This came out of this other pair, which is called the Boondocks. I'll talk about that in a minute. These are not sewn welt construction. These are glued. The leather is glued to the sole. 2 years, and look how well it's held up. Of course, this toe came undone on one shoe. I 2-part epoxied it just to get a little more use out of it, you know, until I break these in thoroughly. Look at this shoe, you know, yeah, it's separating a little bit, but still pretty solid. Very little. It didn't separate as much as this did. Didn't need to be glued back. But look, all the way around. Whatever glue they use, it works. I don't break laces. Nice rounded, laces never cut, eyelets don't come out. All these are still 2 years and still in there solid. I work hard in these shoes. I'm a pipe fitter. I sometimes kick some stuff like wooden wedges to chalk up pipe from rolling, and just work hard in them. Went to Minnesota, so I have bad circulation, so Timberland is my brand. So I read about insulated work boots, and Timberland rated pretty high. This is the Boondock. It doesn't have that neoprene in there. It's got some type of good insulation to keep your foot warm. It does have this neoprene insert. This is a composite toe, which you need for cold temperatures. I was, like I say, in Duluth, and it was in the minus a few times. And my toes got a little cool, but they didn't go numb like they normally do, so they worked for me. So that's it for these 3 styles. I just will want to talk about one other style that I don't recommend, Timberland. It's called the Endurance, made for puncture resistant sole, and it has a steel plate across the whole bottom of the sole that of course you can't see it. You know, there's a rubber on top of it. But how I know this is I work at a nuclear plant from time to time, and the guard stopped me when I put it through the conveyor, and he said, "You know how much steel you have in this endurance shoe?" I know it was a heavy shoe and I didn't like it, but he showed me on the x-ray there's a steel plate and a steel toe, and it doesn't flex too good, and I'm not impressed with the endurance. So unless you're a carpenter, don't go with the endurance because you might not be happy with it.
How you doing? These are boots I got from Amazon. In the beginning, it took me a while to break them in. I work in a body shop, so they're kind of dusty and dirty, as you could tell. But in the beginning, I almost gave up on them because they were like very stiff. And they were hurting right around here. When I tightened them up, this piece right here was hurting. So I used to stuff paper towels from the shop inside my socks for a while. It took 2 weeks to break them in. Like I said, they were very hard to break in. I almost gave up on them, but I'm glad I didn't. It took me 2 weeks, and after that, they fit me like a glove.
Okay, from the beginning